Hey, what's up? Carl here. Now today we're getting bigger, way bigger, yet smaller at the same time. It's Apple's event and my thoughts on it. Okay, so before we begin, I'll just state that I am a huge Apple fan. I love their tech and I love their software. But having said that, Apple do have a tendency to do things wrong. Very, very wrong. And they proved that point by blocking anyone who didn't have Apple tech or Safari at their disposal to stream the live keynote. Seems weird to me. I mean, surely if you're going to attract new customers, you want to open it to everybody, to watch the new tech being unveiled. iPhone 6 was the hot topic, so only people allowed to see the iPhone 6 being unveiled should own the iPhone 5. Just seems weird. It kind of reminds me of that South Park episode where Cartman buys the theme park, doesn't allow anybody in, and it becomes the most popular thing in South Park. I wonder if that was their strategy. Let's go and take a look at the good, the small, and the Bono. So it finally got unveiled. Yes, the iPhone 6 was revealed to the world, and for some reason Apple thought it needed a bigger bodyguard in the form of the iPhone 6 Plus. I'm sensing they got some inspiration from Among some ludicrously large percentages and statistics, the iPhone 6 looks amazing on paper. I'm not going to go into intricate details, you can go watch the keynote for that, but I am going to highlight a few things that stood out for me and a couple of things I was eagerly awaiting. A confusing name at best, but I'm very keen to see this display in real life. They've managed to squeeze more pixels into it than I thought possible, yet there we have it. They also claim richer colors, darker blacks, and is sRGB accurate, which to the layman means it's better than your 5S's screen and way better than your 4S's screen. But by how much though? I guess the only way to find out is to compare them side by side. A real world test. One of the things I was eagerly awaiting were the upgrades, if any, to the iPhone camera, and Apple delivered in a big way. These upgrades are simply amazing. To begin with, the slow motion. Now the iPhone 5s were capable of shooting 120 frames per second at 720p. Now the iPhone 6s have squeezed in an extra 120 frames per second. That's right, they're now capable of shooting 240 frames per second, I'm guessing at 720p. And hopefully 120 frames per second at 1080p. I guess we'll just have to wait and see on that one. The second is the stabilization, and wow, just wow. If the camera can stabilize footage as well as they said in the keynote, then I am impressed. I don't think it will though, so I am cautiously optimistic. I think because it was a pre-recorded video, they could have edited it in Final Cut and stabilized it in motion. A live demo of it would have been better, but yeah, I remain hopeful on it. Next is time-lapse. Now recently I took a look at Instagram's hyperlapse app, you can go and check it over there. And I was very impressed with it. It was very smooth, very stable, and I liked it on the whole. Now Apple have taken that function and built it right into the iPhone's camera. Time will tell to see how smooth and stable the shots actually are compared to the Instagram app. I'm going to be using the Instagram app as the benchmark. And finally, the new focus pixels. If this is true and works as well as the keynote video, then I'm going to be impressed even further. The faster focusing is definitely going to be fantastic to work with, as I don't like tapping my 5S's screen to tell it to focus on a subject faster. So this is definitely going to work well into my daily usage of the phone when I eventually upgrade. Thank the Lord, the Apple Watch finally got unveiled, and yes, it is the Apple Watch and not the iWatch like everyone thought. On the whole, I like it. It's a very sleek and cool design, and coming from Apple I expected nothing less. But I'm not buying into wearable tech. The idea of having a watch that I need to put on charge each night is not cool. And the idea of having yet another device that I need to charge is really not cool. It's fatiguing. Now, Apple went through a lot of specs with it except one, the battery life. I mean, how long can I use this thing before it decides to die on me? I'm not interested in the emoji that you've now programmed, that we can program and animate and all that. I want to know how long before this thing dies and I have to pull out my phone and do things like that, like some sort of Neanderthal. I mean, you gave us the battery life spec of the iPhone 5s and the iPhone 6s. Why not the Apple Watch? This was probably the weirdest part of the keynote for me, and I'm sure others too. When Tim started going on about music and the importance of music to Apple, with iTunes being at the core of it, I thought fantastic, we finally got to see something since the Beats acquisition, like new tech, new headphones, possibly a new app or something, but it didn't come. Instead, he went on to mention the importance of partnerships that they developed with artists over the years, more specifically U2. Now, the last time I saw anything Apple U2 related was this iPod. U2 then went on to perform a single off their new album, which I thought was a pretty cool way to end things, but it didn't end there. Afterwards, Tim and Bonner discussed releasing the album to the world via iTunes. Tim wanted to do it free, Bonner not so much. After a bit of debate, they decided that yes, it would be released to iTunes account holders for free, but not after they did the finger bump of destiny. So yeah, I'm expecting that to become a meme or a GIF in the weeks to come. So there we have it, some rumors put to rest and some puzzling new things from Apple. On the whole, my expectations were pleasantly met. The iPhone 6 looks really incredible. I'm keen to see it in person and play around with it. I'm also interested to see how much it's going to cost here in South Africa. Probably a lot. The Apple Watch finally got unveiled, and I must say it does look very, very, very cool. I'm still not a fan of wearable tech though. The idea of having a watch that I need to charge every night just doesn't gel with me. I mean, I've had this Casio for about 6-7 years now, and I've only changed the battery once, and that was like 2 months ago. So yeah, I'm not buying into wearable tech yet. I do know the Google community are currently having a field day with this tech being announced, especially when it comes to Apple Pay. Yeah, you had it first, then Apple stole it, all that nonsense. So better late than ever, I guess. But that's all from me. Thanks for watching today's video though. If you liked what you saw, please drop a thumbs up, hit that sub button in the corner. Social links are down there, so go check them out. As for me, Carl, see you guys in the next one.